Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, I would like to talk about Gfriend's Tale of the Glass Bead, focusing on the timeline of the storyline up to this point and what we could expect from the upcoming comeback. Since source music has been recently acquired by Big Hit, I think it's fair to assume that their story will be somehow connected with both BTS and Tomorrow by Togethers. I'm already working on a separate video about that. So today, what we're gonna do is to focus on a general overview of Gfriend's timeline and setup in order to get the full picture while we wait for the comeback. Now, despite being a very short video, Tale of the Glass Bead already gave us a lot of clues about the idea they're going for here. The girls start off as friends, they are born and raised together, and for the longest time their friendship seems to be nothing more than a source of joy and happiness. Things change when they visit a lake that gives them special abilities. Each of them appreciates their own power, but cannot help but feeling envious about the others. And it's this envy that leads them to their ultimate downfall. The friendship that once united them is now distorted into a source of misery. And it's only when they are lonely and separated that they finally realize how their envy ruined their life as well as their friendship. The video ends with the girls wishing to go back in time and meet at a crossroads, which presumably is gonna be the starting point from which the new storyline will connect with both BTS and TXT. Now, if we take a look at the music video Gfriend released up to this point, the timeline we are being presented in the Tale of the Glass Bead appears to be linear up until we get to Navillera. In Glass Bead, Me Gustas Tu and Rough, we see how their life was before they got their powers. This is basically the stage of the narrative when we are introduced to their characters and relationship, and the songs portray their youth and highlight their friendship as well as their happiness. When we get to Navillera, however, things start to get a bit tricky. In the trailer, we see this video as the starting point of their troubles. And this makes sense because the butterfly that is referenced in the song is an animal that generally symbolizes change and transformation. Now, bear in mind, Navillera is the first song that mentions envy in the lyrics. So it makes sense that what we see in the video is the initial stage of the conflict that will later unfold in Fingertip. Up to this point, however, we still lack the most important part of the story, which is the girls actually getting their powers. This is the reason why the conflict exists in the first place, but neither Navillera nor Fingertip actually shows it, which means that between Rough and Navillera there is a missing piece. This piece is actually filled by Love Whisper, which is the song where we see them going to the lake and acquire their abilities. This change in the narrative is also confirmed by the end of Fingertip, where we see Unha going back to sleep and the clock going back in time. Now, by moving Love Whisper between Rough and Navillera, the story actually becomes pretty clear. In Glass Bead, Me Gustas Tu and Rough, the girls are friends. In Love Whisper, they go on a journey and get their powers. In Navillera, they get envious, and in Fingertip, they start fighting. Fingertip here represents the climax of the conflict because even if what we see happens in a dream, the conflict itself is happening in real life as well, which is something also confirmed by Summer Rain. In that song, the girls compare love to a summer rain that is as strong as it is short-lived. And the video shows them sadly reminiscing about the past while being grateful for the moments they spent together. These feelings will be later developed in Time for the Moon Night, which is arguably the most difficult video to explain. Now, when the song first came out, there were a lot of theories about the story they were trying to portray here. Some people thought that the song was about mourning and moving on from the death of a loved one, while others saw it as a portrayal of mental illness that caused the girls to have hallucinations about each other. All these theories were actually really well done and extremely plausible, but now we know that all their videos are connected, so in the light of the information the trailer gave us, the song can be seen as the aftermath of the conflict portrayed in Navillera and Fingertip. The lyrics here focus a lot on the themes of memory and longing, and the video portrays the girls, and more specifically Unha, trying to move on from the memory of their friendship. So, does this mean that all the theories were wrong? Well, not exactly actually. You see, even knowing what we know now, I still think that the explanations I just mentioned have some truth to them. Since their friendship was such an important part of their identity, them mourning its loss actually implies that a part of them died when they got separated. If you remember, in Fingertip, some of the members actually died in the dream, so the hallucinations could be seen as the two worlds actually merging together in their minds. The lyrics here are particularly interesting because they actually hint at this possibility by cluing us in on what is about to happen next. Despite their loneliness and sadness, the girls find comfort in the memory of the past, and even if they know that their fantasy will disappear soon, when the time for the moon night comes, they will meet again in their dreams. Now, this is important because from this point on, the narrative shifts from the real world to the dream one. If you look closely, starting from Sunny Summer, the story is not focused on reality anymore, but on their dreams, because through their dreams they are able to be together again. If we take a look at Memoria and Sunrise, for instance, both songs seem to confirm this as well. In Memoria, the girls are able to interact with one another when they are asleep. And in Sunrise, the opening tells us that they had a dream where they could be together again for a short time. Here we see that in their individual scenes they are alone and reminiscing about the past. So we can assume that the scenes that shows them together are not reality. They are a memory that they are reliving in a dream. So when they fall asleep in the dream, they wake up in real life, alone and sad as they were before. When the video shows their dreams, we actually get some references to their past videos, further reinforcing the idea that in the story, memory and dream are closely connected to one another. This is important because the separation between the real world and the dream world could possibly be an important aspect of the comeback, and Flower seems to confirm this as well. Now, in Flower, the girls are once again in the dream world, which is something they admit right at the beginning of the song. What is interesting here is that in the lyrics, they compare the dream to a labyrinth that they cannot escape from. Now, this is very telling because the idea that they don't want to escape the fantasy implies that now they are getting lost in the labyrinth, and I think that Fever deals with this topic as well. In that song, they are overpowered by love. The happiness they feel is once again like a summer dream. But they don't care about the fact that this is not reality because their love for one another makes them love themselves. What we are seeing here is like a dream loop that makes them relive their memories and keeps them trapped in the labyrinth because of the happiness these fantasies entail. When they dream, they can go back in time and relive the past. And even if this gives them happiness, the more time they spend in the dream, the more they risk to get lost in it. This idea is also foreshadowed in Falling Light, which is the latest song that they released. Now in Falling Light, they actually confirm the idea that their dreams allow them to go back in time by reminiscing about the past. But in the lyrics, they also compare themselves to a lost child, which is something that further reinforces the idea that they are lost in the labyrinth of their dream. Now, on the Gfriend Wikipedia page, it is hinted that the title track of Labyrinth will be called Crossroads. So this implies that in the comeback we'll be seeing a new beginning for them. That is them meeting again at the crossroads they mentioned in the trailer. This crossroads could be a place where reality and dream actually merge together, thus allowing them to go back in time in real life the way they do in their dreams. So that's it from me today. I'm already working on a big hit multiverse video that I cannot wait to show you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.